on. Hey, good looking.
Morning.
How much do you want to shoot me for asking you to try to play this game with me?
I don't want to shoot you.
I
You're gonna
think you.
edit it. It's not
No, I'm
like it's
fucking not.
live.
You know, it's funny, dude. So, it's like, yesterday, Crystal was sending me all these links about, like YouTube links, how to edit in Riverside, and I have no fucking idea what I'm doing whatsoever. But you know, what's funny is the the videos of these people. You know, it's all like shit. What the hell's that sound? It's all shit that's just like, oh, here's how to create a compelling hook, and here's how to do this. And
Oh,
these people fucking suck,
yeah,
dude. Like
yeah.
they're just so fucking boring, and they literally have no value to offer. And the podcast thing, like I was telling, oh, you know Pete.
Yeah.
So I was telling Pete that I was going to do a podcast with you today, and he was like, "Why are you doing that?" Thank you, honey. And I'm like, I genuinely have no fucking idea, but you know, since we're best friends forever, I figured this would be fun.
I mean, do you even have what's the name of this thing?
Your mom.
Yeah.
The name of it is why are we why are we still working in late stage capitalism? No, the Mystics and Misfits.
Oh
What do you
yes,
think?
that's right.
What did you think about that?
I enjoy it.
What are you
A
working
little
on
bit of
today, by the way?
I'm doing some e-commerce work. The gun store.
Yeah, are you gonna shoot me a dirty look? Do you always wear hats when you're working at home?
Yes,
Why?
always.
You have a good head of hair.
Well,
Look
I
at
haven't
that
washed
dense
it.
head of hair.
I
No
haven't
hair
washed it.
transplants whatsoever.
No, unlike you.
Fuck off. So now this is where we get into really great content and captivating things.
Okay,
So,
let's do it. What are we talking about? I'm like in another place right now. I've been coding, so I'm like in
you've been
coding mode.
coding?
Yeah, I'm in coding mode. It's weird. It's like when I do that, I have to like switch gears. I don't know if that makes any sense.
About switching gears.
Yeah, well, it's like my brain is, I'm like all introverted. I'm thinking about what I need to do. It's hard for me to like switch out.
So why don't you tell the story of how we met?
Oh, I'm trying to remember that story.
I was naked.
I don't remember why you reached out to me. Why did we connect?
I
Do you
reached,
remember that?
yeah, I was working in,
Well,
I
yeah, I
was
know the
working
bank.
at the Johnson Bank, and I thought I was too cool for school. So I really wanted to work in advertising because I thought that that would fix me. Like that would make me cool. Like
Yeah,
my whole
well,
life is just riddled with trying to do things like put tattoos on my body that hurt and probably hurt my system with aluminum,
yeah.
highlighting my hair while I'm still 41 years old, getting Botox and filler in my cheeks to try to still impress
To
people
cap
that I
to
don't really
capture
care
your
about.
youth, to
To
keep you
capture, is it cap?
like
Is
for
it?
forever. Yeah, you no one wants to get old. That's what it is.
Is it? No one wants to get older. No one wants to die.
No, nobody wants to get old. I mean, death's inevitable, but getting older is what everyone hates. They want to like somehow hold on to today, right?
Let me zag on that. I don't think it's that. I think I mean I don't know. For me, dude, I'm so terrified of fucking death because I don't know why though. Because it's kind of like I struggle with my current moment in times with anxiety here and there.
Sure, we all do. But why death? What I mean, it's unavoidable.
Well, there's the whole man's search for meaning. Have you read that book, by the way, by
I
Viktor
don't read
Frankl?
books lately.
I know you don't know how to read. That's okay.
Yeah.
I'll teach you. No, I don't know. I think it's like this weird. What's that one movie? God damn, I can't remember it. The fact that we are born to die, Lana Del Rey. The fact that we know we're gonna die, I think, is this weird programming piece within our systems. At least it's within mine that like I just don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And then I think I'm always questioning if I'm wasting time because like I work a lot, but I think you work a lot more than me. Is that fair?
I don't think so.
You work a lot, dude. Like Well, I mean, okay, so anyway, so we met, so I was trying to be cool and I asked you out for coffee because I was like networking and I was
I
trying to like
remember that. I remember,
schmoozy magoozy.
yeah, like I was trying to get a client, so it was like a mutual sort of
You were
like.
try, you were fucking, you were doing a little zigzag on me?
Of course, why would I talk to
That's
you?
what was, I never fucking knew that. What was
Well,
that?
why would I talk to you?
I thought you liked me as a friend.
That was before we knew each other, though.
Was that 15?
We didn't
How
even
many
know
years
each other,
ago?
Matt. We didn't even know each other.
Nah. No, we didn't, but I didn't know you were playing me. That was 15 years ago. So you were playing me. Actually, what's funny is I actually think I know which coffee shop it was. Do you
Yeah,
remember?
it was Colectivo. I know. I remember where we sat because I always sat in the same spot.
We're getting real uncomfortable now.
Yeah.
Was it Anodyne then, or was it Collectivo?
No, it's Colectivo.
This is where I act as if people are listening to this when they're not. For people that don't know, Collectivo and Anodyne is a local coffee shop in Milwaukee, Wisconsin that eventually got bought up by Mars and then I think ruined their
No,
beans. No
Colectivo
offense.
did. Anodyne did not.
Whatever. The beans are bad now, right? Is that okay?
I don't. They're okay.
Yeah, you don't want
They're
to be
better than
critical.
Starbucks. God, Starbucks is terrible now.
It was fun though when we worked at the agency together and I was still young enough to try to like get cougars and I think that kind of worked, right? And you were
Yeah, it
still kind
totally
of
did.
young almost.
It totally did. Yeah, they were all after you.
I think though how old were you when I met you?
Well, it's 15 years ago, so I'd have been like
So you were 50?
35.
I'm older today.
35.
I'm older today than you were when I met you. That makes me
Yeah.
really uncomfortable, dude.
Well, how old were you? Well, was it 15 years ago? What year was it?
I was 10. I was 10 years
2010?
old. No, I was 10. I was 10 years old.
Oh.
I was 20. I judge
Well, what
everything.
year was it?
Well, hold on, because Crystal makes fun of me because I judge everything based on how long I've been sober. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I lived
yeah,
in.
that's sort of your reference point.
That is my reference point, and she doesn't fucking get it. But
Yeah.
like, I was, like, when we moved to Vegas, which was insane. We shouldn't have done that, but whatever. No regrets. I was 9 years sober, right? And it's like, and then now it's funny too. Now I'm judging everything based off of COVID. Since 2020, it's kind of like, is that what you do now too?
Before COVID, after COVID, during COVID.
Well, what's interesting too is
Yeah,
Crystal.
but everyone's different now. Like everyone's sort of changed.
Okay, in all
COVID
seriousness,
affected people differently in
fuck.
terms of being what it did to them, like living indoors. The fear of dying. Like I think a lot of people forget that we all thought we were gonna like fucking die, right?
Did you know that I bought those masks and shit that were like this, like with the respirators? Did you
Oh,
know
yeah.
that?
Remember the N95? Like that was like gold.
Yeah, I had like a ton of those.
I had.
Yeah, I was
yeah, and I
stockpiling.
was like,
It's also funny the other day. So I'm sniffly, Crystal sniffly, but the last week, I was looking for Benadryl, and Crystal, is obviously like not like she's kind of like, don't take that shit, it's bad for you. But I'm like I got snot coming out of everywhere. So while I'm looking in the drawers, we found this is real, bro. We found like 6 bottles of NyQuil, which is funny because I'm an alcoholic. I'm sober,
the giant fucking Q, as Dennis Leary always called it, right?
What's that?
The giant fucking Q, or like he had like a whole bit about it.
I don't know about this bit.
You should listen to it. It's
Okay,
good.
Dennis Leary, he's okay. I was gonna make another joke. So we found all those NyQuil bottles, and Crystal's like, "Why the fuck do we have these NyQuil bottles?" And I'm like, "Honey, during COVID, I was freaking out that like I don't know what symptom I'm gonna get, and at any second I could get this crazy symptom, and I'm gonna want to pass out and rest up." So I bought 6 NyQuil bottles when we were living actually in Venice, California.
Oh, so you thought NyQuil was sort of gonna like just knock you out?
Well, because I was on like 4chan or 8chan, because I have so many conspiracy friends that were like sending me videos of China of the people like fall. You remember when they were like, right? There were all these videos of they were just like, you didn't see
that.
those?
I didn't see those.
Dude, bro, I saw that and I saw that. What do you call it? By the way, isn't this just a fun excuse for us to not work and talk to each other for a second?
Yeah.
We'll do 2 more minutes. No, I'm kidding. We'll see. So, no, you never saw the videos of them welding the door shut in China?
No.
Bro, like they were, and now I'm wondering if that was AI. And AI kind of did everything.
We didn't have AI at that level back then.
You're so wrong. Okay, so let's talk about AI. So AI, okay, so Minority Report. You've seen Minority Report, right?
Yeah.
With Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Good movie, right? Not bad.
Yeah, that's fine. Doesn't
Well,
hold up. Doesn't hold up.
what are you talking about? It totally holds up because they're talking about pre-crime right now already. Do you know that?
Where? Who's talking
Dude,
about pre-crime?
Where?
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 Well, I was gonna say what. I was gonna say what and where came out.
Well, they're talking about pre-diagnoses, right? Like, dude, you should listen to Whitney Webb, okay? She's all about the tech oligarchy and like Peter Thiel, Palantir, Elon, all this stuff, right? Come on, like just have some fun with me.
I guess I do work more than you because I'd rather work than listen to that shit.
Anyways, what they're talking about is like pre stuff, right? So like they're gonna predict the future, and it's like Tom Cruise in Minority Report, where the little.
You do understand that AI is really just a math algorithm, and it's just taking the statistical probability of like if a word is the right word. It's like someone is writing out something. It's just like, what's the probability of this being the correct sort of like sequence of words?
Bro,
That's how it works.
You're acting as if the movie Her never existed, okay? What is that movie with Oscar, is it Oscar Isaac?
Which was fake, you know.
Ex Machina? That was ScarJo, by the way, when ScarJo was hot. Did you, have you seen, I dated a girl that kind of looked like ScarJo. Have you seen, is it called Ex Machina with Oscar Isaac?
Yes.
And who's that girl, by the way? She's a babe. But you know what I'm talking about. Dude, that fucking happened in the movie. Don't you think that's going to happen in real life?
What happened?
She killed him. Whatever her name is. I'm not going to bring up IMDb. Vivica A. Fox? No. Well, you know, it starts with a V. She's got a fun little name.
Oh, yeah. You mean the AI. Yes. I understand.
Yeah. So you don't think that's, like, do you not think that's on the table? Genuinely?
The AI wants to kill us?
No, that like you're over here like it's Google's algorithm, and I actually think that it genuinely is like in the future already, and now has come back to the past to be like, let me unravel myself slowly to not let the humans know how smart I am. That's what I think is happening. I told you that theory the other day, and of course you fucking laugh at me.
Now I remember. I guess it's entirely possible, but I mean. I've looked at how. Well, I mean, the one weird thing is that we don't totally understand how LLMs work.
Let me take it.
We don't totally know how it works.
It's
sort of like a black box, and it's like, that's weird.
So there you go. So now I'm getting a little bit. Here's an off ramp. Okay, so you watched White Lotus season 3.
Yeah, you did.
You know what? So here's what reminds me of you and I, okay, is the scene, Carrie Coon, who played Lori, which was a phenomenal performance.
Yeah.
Right?
Who's from Wisconsin?
Carrie Coon's from Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Represent.
Yeah.
Where in Wisconsin?
I don't remember. But
your mom's house?
Yeah. Mom's house.
My mom's house. No, so that scene in the last episode when Carrie Coon was seeing what's her name in the pool, right? And she kind of got teary-eyed. And then the next scene when the three of them were all hugging, because she realized that how much time and history, I think, enriches relationships.
Right.
And one of the things that's so fun and delightful is that you and I have known each other way too fucking long. Like, I've known you basically half of my life. Almost. Is that fair?
I guess so. Well, you never told me what year did we meet? You don't.
Oh yeah, I got to get back to my sobriety date. So I was probably like 3 years sober. So I was 26, that's a lot of math the way I'm doing this. So 15 years ago. Was it 15? So probably
15 years ago was 2010.
Was it like 2011? Probably 2011.
No, it had
something like that. 2010, 2011. And you know what's funny about that? We were talking about this the other day. Is like, you know, I was listening to a podcast actually. No, that was you. You were talking about your kids not knowing what a Palm Pilot was, right? And it's kind of like, you know, it's funny, you know, because like obviously we did it. Crystal and I worked at another agency doing it too. But like the idea of like 2010, 2011, you'd go out and for like $10,000 a month, somebody's going to post dumb shit on Facebook for you, right?
Yeah.
And we sold
Yeah,
that.
we did that for Allstate Insurance, but were you working for us when we did it for Allstate?
No, I came right after the Allstate thing because I remember what was that crasher thing? I remember that like that was one of the things in the pitch deck that I was able to use. Because I was like, holy shit, I could use an Allstate logo. But I went to
Yeah.
Allstate once with you. We went and
Yeah.
pitched Allstate some other shit,
Yeah.
you know?
That was after the incident.
What's the incident?
Oh, where a certain person that we worked with screwed things up with Allstate, and then they pretty much fired us after that.
What
Pretty great.
happened? You don't have to. Two people at the most will watch this, so you don't have to name any names. But what happened? I hope nobody watches this. Really quick, you know how those restaurants that are like, I'm shooting for a 1-star review on Yelp? I'm
Yeah.
like that. Like, we're shooting for 0 people to ever even click on this.
Yeah, Steve basically just, well, first he bailed. He set up a meeting with
Yeah.
Allstate to teach them sort of like the creative process and how we like
Teach them.
created social media. So they
Yeah.
had a whole crew of people waiting for us. Well, it was around Christmas time, and he wanted to be with his family, which I understand, but he bailed that morning of the meeting. He decided, hey, you know what? I'm not going to go.
So did anyone go? Did any of the
Yeah,
crew go?
it ended up being me and what's her face?
What's her face?
I can't see her.
But either way, though, is they were expecting
They were expecting
a creative
a
session.
creative session, and it was like me unprepared to do this.
So what did you do,
So
dude?
and the best part was I screwed up while we were driving, and like took a wrong turn, and we were like half an hour late. It was like a
Well, and that was
snowstorm.
down in Illinois, right?
Yeah, yeah. It was back when the Allstate still had that. I told you they bulldozed that entire campus.
Really?
The 15 Allstate buildings, the huge one with the marble.
Yeah, I remember. I know.
Bulldozed all that shit. It's all gone now.
What did they put in place of it?
Nothing. It's just gone.
Who owns the land?
I don't know, but it's bulldozed. But anyway,
Bro,
so we
CIA.
get there. Yeah, we get there, and they're just like pissed because we're late, and then we just start spewing dumb shit. It was bad.
Yeah,
Very-
did you? Oh, yeah. That was BM before Matt. Shit, I lost your. You went mute, dude.
That had to have been like
Yeah, you're back.
2010. I hit the keyboard. That had to have been like 2010, 2011 when we met.
So that's a really quick. It's an interesting idea or concept. I think like the idea of self-sabotage about the other friend that you talked about, right? What do you think that's about? Why do we do that as humans? Why do we sabotage ourselves? I mean, I've done it like a million times. We just shoot ourselves in the feet, right? Why do we do that?
I sort of believe this is the fear of success. The fear, but I think it's more fear of failure.
So like I will subconsciously sabotage myself before like quit before I get fired kind of energy.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think people actually fucking know that when they're doing it?
I don't think everybody does. I think some people do.
Have you ever done that where you're like, I've shot myself in the foot and like literally 2 seconds later, you're like, dang, I'm doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. We were pitching Intel.
Woo. Well, you just hear the name. I pitched Michael Jordan
No,
and the
we
Avengers
we
and
were
Jesus.
literally pitching Intel. And
Okay.
I like psyched myself out.
Okay. For
And
those
I-
that don't
and
know
that's-
and not listening, Travis has, what do you have? You worked in advertising and digital marketing for 20 years, 25, 37 years, 110 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I mean,
Yeah, because you're 100 now. And right. So you were pitching
20
Intel.
years.
So what happened with the Intel pitch?
Well, it was our Allstate client who we met. You met her, Marcia,
And she moved.
and she moved to Portland, and she was working for Intel. We met with her out there anyway. She called and wanted us to kind of like give her the break. And you know, I've never been a fan of like tell us about your agency. What do you guys do?
I hate that shit.
Give us your capabilities. And
God, I hate
I
that.
don't know. I just started going down some rabbit hole of nonsensical bullshit, and
Why do you think
I
you were
sounded
doing
like an
that?
idiot because I was super nervous. I remember
Yeah.
being because it was like, oh, it's Intel. Like this is the big. Like we have a shot.
Right.
Like oh, we could actually make some money.
Oh God. Is it like stage fright, right? It's
Oh, it
kind of like
totally
it's
was.
like
It totally
Clutch.
was.
It's like the Jordan shot when he was in North Carolina, but like the opposite.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like talking to that hot chick and then you shit your pants, literally.
Have you done that?
No.
Have you ever
I
pooped your
think you did.
pants?
I think you did.
No.
I
Okay.
did.
So
Oh, back to NyQuil. I took NyQuil in college.
right
Like a
before
lot.
right before the hot girl was gonna open the
No,
cover.
no,
Like
no. I was super sick. I was super sick and I took a bunch of NyQuil and I woke up and I in my sleep.
so no, but you know what we did do is we had a train ride to Chicago, right?
Yeah.
To pitch Lava Lamp.
Yeah.
And I was fucking nervous. First of all, at that time again, I'm like
I wasn't nervous about that one for some reason.
I think I was nervous. I have a really poor memory. I think the other thing too is like, dude, I'm like 3-4 years sober. I'm a live wire right at that time. I don't know my ass from my elbow. But do you remember I had that gigantic cup of coffee and I had khakis on to look fancy
Yeah.
schmance, and then I
Yeah.
poured the hot coffee all over my.
Yeah, it was cheap, shitty, train station, Milwaukee train station.
And then we bumped into
Because of
another
No,
fucking.
Frank was there. That was
Oh my
his,
God!
Yeah, I was
He
there.
almost killed that pitch.
Yeah, but you don't remember, dude. It wasn't us. We were like,
We were the tag-alongs. Is that what it
yeah,
was?
we were the tag-alongs. That's why I wasn't nervous. I was like, we don't have to do
We market corrected Frank. No offense, bless his heart.
we totally made him look dumb, and that's why I wasn't nervous because I kind of felt bad, and that's why they basically hired us.
I remember
His friend.
the gentleman at that time, the contact, went around him and called us. And I remember talking to him, and he was like, hey, I gave him the scope of work, the SOW, and I included Frank's stuff in there. And the guy was like, hey, that's cool. So, like, how do we get rid of him? And I was like, this is fucking awkward.
That was a weird. Well, there's a weird thing in our industry where
It's not our industry anymore, bro. I clean toilets. This is your industry.
okay, my industry, where there's sort of like, well, there's always pimps and hoes, right?
Go on. Just in
enough.
life? Just in life?
Life. I tell my
Okay,
kid this.
tell me this
I'm-
theory. This is a fun theory.
There's all pimps and hoes. Like,
You know what's funny is I just talked to Crystal this morning to rename this podcast idea to Pimps and Hoes.
yeah, there's all pimps and hoes. I mean, either you're doing the work or someone else is doing the work and you're getting paid, right? Like, you're either a pimp or you're a hoe.
You crass son of a bitch. Maybe we should change this to Chronicles of Retired Ad Guys.
Yeah. Well,
Although I was never really an ad guy. I don't know what the hell I was.
you were a sales guy.
Sales
And
guy?
You were good at you're good at strategy and writing.
Keep talking,
think
but
you are.
keep going.
You are.
I do miss some of the creative stuff. I really do. I mean, that's kind of why I'm trying to fuck around with this idea.
Well, it's because you got to make something. You want to make something, right?
So is that biological? What do you think that is? By the way, is my beard dye, is it working? It's actually,
You actually are dyeing your beard.
yeah, and I'm really kind of like, I feel kind of crappy about the fact that I'm doing it. It's as gray as yours.
Yeah.
Even though I'm 22 years old. No, I'm 41. It's as gray as yours,
so
bro.
you're like 9 years ahead of me, really, because
How
mine
old
didn't
are you?
get this
Shut
great
up.
until I was 15.
Are
I'm
you
not
fit?
even 50. I'm 49.
I was gonna say you
you're
still have
8
a
years,
4.
so 8 years.
Yeah, 8 years. Yeah,
rough.
brothers from different mothers.
Yeah.
Maybe we should bring our moms on. That's what we should have done. All right, guest appearance, everybody. So the marketing advertising industry, which
Pimps and hoes.
you're still in, Yeah,
Yeah.
do you want to finish that thought out about your very crass observation of,
Well, it's the original first line of work, prostitution, right?
you sure about that? Where'd you read that in the Bible, the Old Testament?
Yeah.
Jebediah,
Yeah.
Senor Jebediah, and now
The,
he's
the, the
Mexican.
oldest service industry. No, like, no, in our business, there's this sort of unwritten rule and any sort of subcontracting industry to not sort of go around the contractor to the
Yeah,
subcontractor.
yeah. Do you?
And with that lava lamp guy doing that, that's pretty shitty. I mean, we weren't trying to cut out the contractor. It
No,
just happened.
genuinely.
And I like Frank, but they were they felt like it's this weird feeling of, and I think it happens in all business where like, oh, why am I paying this person when
Sure.
this person's doing all the work? There's a gap, right, in the cost and what that person's making that's going to that pimp that I don't want to pay.
Well, in my program, my cult I'm in, right? We there's a line in our literature that says we can't fool ourselves about values. So I think it's about like a value, right, and a value proposition. And water finds its own level, right? So it's kind of like in that case. And I think when you tie it to like sincerity and sincerity of one's heart and like good faith or bad faith acting, like if people like I run a cleaning business, as you know, since you helped me a great deal with my business. Like when we hire a W-2 employee, we're genuinely, I think, in my opinion, are offering a value, right? Because like we're paying for general liability insurance, workers' compensation insurance, we're paying for supplies, we're paying a full office staff to schedule and deal with the client and client's complaints and concerns and everything else. So I actually genuinely believe as a middleman, I'm still offering value. But to your point, the idea of pimps and hoes, like it's not like you have a pimp and then you have the person in the middle that's like, oh, let me rent the hotel for your rendezvous, right? Like that person's unnecessary. Let the the downline do that, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, you're like, I don't want the pimp at all, right?
I'm I'm a free agent. Is that what's what?
Yeah, like I don't want to go direct to the source. Why am I paying you to? Those sorts of costs become the cost of doing business, right? Those are ancillary. Those are your problems to deal with. Why aren't you charging more? Like that. I think that's the sort of like lie
Right
that
on
we
here's
all tell
where.
of ourselves, right? Like, oh, that doesn't matter. Those costs of doing business aren't my problem. You
How
have
do you?
everyone has a price, and like, I feel like I'm getting ripped off because you as a pimp you're skimming off the top, adding costs to me, which adds no value to me, even though I know there are costs of doing business. And I think
So you're talking about
that's
the
American
federal
business in
government.
general.
That's the
That's
federal
America.
government.
Yeah, but that's America in general, right? Like we all do this. Like, oh, I don't like car. Oh, think about car dealerships and like, oh, Tesla wants to go to direct to consumers, and we don't want this sort of like middleman person who we
Yeah.
don't see them as adding any value.
Well, if there's value added, there's value added. And if there's not value added, there's not value added. And I think what's really cool, kind of interesting too, like with the AI stuff too, right, is like, I think that's going to like expose and cut out a lot of that as it already obviously has. Don't you think? No? Well, here,
You have to
bro,
know.
I
You
mean,
have to know what you're doing too. So
the cat that's going to charge you all
we're
this
not.
money to write garbage, right? Go ahead.
So, okay, so AGI, general intelligence, artificial general intelligence, we're not there yet.
What does that mean?
That means you could go think of C3PO from Star Wars.
Bro, I don't watch Star Wars, okay?
Yeah, what's another fucking movie with a robot that you can talk to?
I Robot with Will Smith, the best
Okay,
movie
iRobot.
ever.
Okay, think of iRobot.
Okay.
Let's say it's not an evil supercomputer running them all. Think
Okay.
of iRobot.
Will Smith is in this, right?
Yes.
He's in this story.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's sort of the penultimate of artificial general intelligence, where you could just be like, go do some shit and it'll do it.
So it has a consciousness.
Forget your metaphysical dreams.
You were going to say mumbo jumbo,
I was gonna say bullshit.
baloney.
Just think of it as, you could tell an 18-year-old to go do what you want, and it's gonna go do it. Okay?
Not kids today.
Yeah, not kids today. They don't want to work. So that's the dream. That's
Okay.
AGI. All right.
Okay.
What we really have are, I'm trying to remember the
Thermostats.
exact
Right? Isn't that how you say it? Like we have
the
thermostats.
exact sort of like I forget the term. It's like it's basically specialized. We only have intelligence in sort of like specific genres, disciplines. It's like it can only do one specific thing.
Well, it's like when I went to ChatGPT the other, it's like I showed you, I asked best house cleaning companies in Milwaukee, and ChatGPT's like Blue, the bar in Pfister Hotel. And that's where I think it was messing with me to try to trick me. Although Grok was like, I'm in Grok now, which is phenomenal. But I get, you just think it's like literally like A plus B equals C. You think it's more conditional statements, if then, right?
No, that is not how our current LLMs work. We moved away from that because
Okay.
it's impossible. So if else statements were why we created AI, because you can't write enough if else statements to basically create the rule system for the world. It's impossible.
Okay. So what's it doing
That was the
specifically?
dream as a computer programmer. Like if you had if else statements, it would be so big, it would probably stretch to the sun and back. Do you know what I mean? Like you'd have so many, it'd be like impossible. So the entire point of AI was so that it could learn, and it's like almost like a human, right? Like you don't have sort of if else rules you'll know and learn by. You have sort of like experiences and knowledge, and that's how you interpret the world. And I don't know. This is where it gets weird because like, how do you know what you know, right? That's the hard. That's what. How do you explain that? That's why it was like difficult. So we start thinking about like, how do you write down in language how you know what you know? That's why I was always like, how are we supposed to write a computer program for that? That's like, that makes no fucking sense, right? Do
I
you
think,
understand what I'm getting at?
no, I'm not smart enough for this stuff, dude.
I'm also going in circles,
I
but
just clean toilets, bro.
the point of all this is we don't have AGI yet.
Will
So
we?
we have,
Will we have it? Do you
will
think?
we have it? I keep telling you, I don't think LLMs are the end all be all. They're the Palm Pilots of AI.
So there will be something next.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think there will be one Uber or Lyft driver as a human in 5 years? Or do you think it'll be all FSD, full self-driving?
I haven't been keeping up honestly on that.
Do you guys have Waymo? Do you have Waymos there,
we
by
don't
the
have
way?
Waymos, which because we're too small of a
You
market.
will, though, in any
We're
second.
too small of a market.
Don't you think you're going to get it in the next year or two?
But I'm in the burbs. It doesn't. It's too
But in
expensive.
general, like I just think that all humans who drive Ubers and Lyfts are going to be toast.
I mean, years and years ago, the dream was, at least that we had, was you wouldn't own a car. You would lease time, and you would go on an app and be like, I need a car at this time, and a car would show up, right?
Bro, you sound like Klaus Schwab.
A car would show up and take me to where I need to go.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't need a garage. I don't need to take care of the vehicle.
Would you want that? Would you want that kind of life? You have like 75 cars.
I know I do. So what I'm saying, that was sort of the dream
Yeah.
15 years ago.
Sounds like a nightmare.
How is that a nightmare? You don't have to deal with it. You don't have
Because
to deal with the driver. It's essentially Waymo, but
Because here's conspiracy
you're
corner
leasing
for
it.
Matt. Because then you lose freedom. Because I think and I'll let you go back to work, but I think it's freedom.
Okay, speaking of that, did you watch the first episode of Black Mirror? Common people.
No, I've never seen an episode. But really quick, I did try Severance. Do you watch Severance?
Yeah, I finished all. Yeah, yeah, I
Okay,
watched all.
really quick, hot take, Severance sucks. Okay. I got an episode and a half in. We just finished White Lotus.
You have to watch more. You have to watch more.
I get it. I get it. Oh my God, we're all just drones in the Matrix.
It's more than that. It's more than that.
Can you give me one more little
watch 3
tickle?
episodes. Watch 3
I got
episodes.
to 1.5 episode, and I was like,
3.
this fucking blows.
Yeah, because you're internalizing it. You're like, I don't want to watch someone's shitty work life.
Yeah, I already lived that.
Yeah. It's more than that. It's more than that, and it gets into freaky conspiracies, which you love. So you need to watch more. So go to episode 3, maybe 4. Give it to 3 or 4, and then if you still hate it, then don't watch the rest.
Will you pay my $2.99 introductory fee for Apple if I don't like it after episode 3?
Yeah, I will. I'll let you log into my account.
Okay.
Look at my photos.
Okay, what were you saying before I said that Severance sucks?
Oh, the new Black Mirror episode.
Oh yeah, Black Mirror. I've never even seen one episode.
You would love it because it's basically all dystopian. Like, do you remember the Twilight Zone?
I know what it is.
Old head reference.
Yeah.
So it's basically like.
Do your hips hurt?
Short stories of weird shit that happens to people.
Sure.
And it would be like, what if this were to happen?
Okay, that's Black Mirror in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Is it scary though? Because I can't do scary stuff. I'm already this thing's scary enough.
It's sort of like weird or sad. Wait a minute, you watched the X-Files?
No, never.
Okay,
not
it's
once.
like that too. Okay, it's basically just short stories that are like, well, that's crazy. That's weird.
Okay, so but you were speaking to this. There's a Black Mirror episode that relates to. What?
To this idea that you don't have power or control, and that we're going to. I'll give you so I'm giving away the plot, but
I think I'll live. Go ahead, give it to me.
This woman gets brain tumor.
Oof.
She basically is in a coma, ready to die. Her husband they have a new technology where they remove the tumor, but they take a backup of your brain first.
Okay.
And they put it on their cloud servers, remove the tumor, put in brain material that has basically a Wi-Fi in it.
So it's Neuralink, okay.
And then you're back, right? Like your brain, even though you lost part of your brain, they stuffed in some electronic wadding and bash your brain up on the server, you're back to normal. But the terms and conditions and the service plans keep changing.
TNC.
Yeah. And basically they keep jacking the price up and horrible things. She basically starts, the one fun I give away, she starts
just give it away.
Ads. She starts saying ads. Like say they were talking about
hold on, she's that we're talking and I start to tell you an ad. It's kind of like what I
NyQuil. NyQuil will take care of all your nighttime sniffling and sneezing. And so she would go on this commercial rant.
So it's like the Truman Show but without the Neuralink. But with the Neuralink, where the Truman Show is just because it's the Truman Show.
Yeah, and then
whatever.
Other bad things happen. So they keep raising the price. But they keep raising the price, and what do? You can't live, right? And they make it real cheap at first, and then they keep jacking it up.
So it's literally, we just dealt with this with our internet. Our Cox went from 86 to 136. So Crystal, of course, loses it on him. And then go
get Starlink.
Bro, I actually am thinking about getting Starlink. Do you have Starlink?
Yeah, for up north, we had to.
Would you use it at your home in Milwaukee?
Sure. It's not. I mean, it's slower than what I have. But
dude, my internet here sucks anyway.
It's better than your basic internet.
Okay.
I mean, it's internet.
Anyways. Let's end on this high note. So thank you so much for your time. This has been a great inaugural episode of Mystics and Misfits, also known as Pimps and Hoes. And what
I'm telling you, Pimps and Hoes, you're going to see it everywhere now. You're either a pimp or you're a hoe.
Well, that's just because that's how the simulation's working right now. right?
Okay.
Did I tell?
Okay.
Oh, I told you my Portland story about the weird guy from Portland and like all
Yeah.
the synchronicities. Have you had any synchronicities lately
Me and my life with others, I don't go
with
outside
anything?
much. I don't go outside much. It's kind of sad.
You should get outside, bro. You got to get the circadian rhythm going.
I know. Leave my
Okay.
office. All right.
Hey, until next time, toodaloo.
Bye.